so I already have the two bases that I'm going to use for my ATC. Now I need to work on what I'm going to put on top of that, which is this cute little Christmas mug, Have a Cup of Cheer. And I'm going to need to make 10 of these. So I'm going to start out by stamping on this white sheet of paper 10 different images of this mug using black Momento ink, and then I'm going to cut that out and color those. So I like to use this Stampin' Up! Stamparatus here, and I don't believe that Stampin' Up! Sells these anymore, or at least right now, but I know you can get these from some other brands, and it is really neat. The thing that I like about this is especially when I have a bigger stamp like that, and I don't know if you can really tell, the image is not exactly perfect, especially like in the words. And so what I'm going to do is I have the image already in place. The stamp is already in its spot, and I'm just inking it back up, and I can restamp that and really put a little bit of pressure, rub across that to get the ink, because I want as clear, crisp of an image as I can get. I just like how that looks. I'm going to be adding my alcohol-based markers, and that's the reason I'm using the Momento ink. Okay, so I like that image. I'm going to just shift. Since I'm going to just make sure that that's going to give me a clearance. It does. Like I said, I've got to make 10 of these, and then I'm going to cut these out, and then I will be all ready to do some coloring. So I'm just going to continue along doing this same set for each of my 10 images. It's going to take me a little bit of time, but I'm going to work on that right now. Okay, so I'm ready to do my coloring with my markers, and when I started looking at the colors, I actually have enough of the Stampin' Up! Colors to use to make the final cup of what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to begin coloring one of these. I did want to point one thing out. Notice this, when I was stamping some of these, I got that image of the edge of the rubber on the stamp, and that's okay because we're going to cut these out. And so it's no big deal, and it's a homemade card anyway. So let's get started doing some of the coloring. And I'm just going to start, I think, with the chocolate chip cookie. And I'm using the Stampin' Up! Color Dark Pecan Pie for the chocolate chips. And just going to color those. Just going to color those in here. And it's going to make me hungry probably. Okay, so now that gives all the chocolate chips. And now for the base part, the dough of the cookie, I'm going to use actually this light color. And I really didn't have a very good tan, color for that, but I thought this kind of worked well. So I'm just going to move forward with using this. I could actually color multiple images at once if I wanted to, but I'm just going to show you this one here first. Okay, now the majority of my coloring is going to be with the Granny Apple Green, and I've got the dark one right here, and I'm going to do a little shading, I think. I'm not the best at this. I'm still trying to learn. But I'm going to do around the edge here of the mug a little bit dark of a shadow, and then maybe along the line with the handle. Give us a little dark image here. And then I'm going to come in with the light Granny Apple Green. And just kind of come over that to do our blending. That's the thing with the blending markers. We don't really want that harsh line, and so we're trying to pull it out. And then I'm just doing a nice even coloring across this. I like this larger image I don't have to be that careful unless I'm right here at the other pieces. But I'm just gonna come across here and using this green mug, trying to go in the same direction. If we remember how we colored in kindergarten, or we're taught to color, then try to blend out this right here. Again, we're gonna be able to do some cutting that out with the dies in a little bit, so that's gonna be able to take care of anything that gets out of the lines for the most part. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna be using with the green, I'm gonna go ahead and do this little greenery here, and I may add some of the darker. I've tried different ways of using either the light color first or the dark color. I'm gonna come in now with the dark Granny Apple Green and just add a few little height to be able to show a little bit of the shadow that we would possibly get with some light. Okay, now we're going to color the red images, and I'm using the dark Real Red from Stampin' Up. I'm just going to start with the little berries first. I love greeneries with berries. The green and the red look so good together. Okay, oh, and I just noticed one other thing I want to do first. I missed this the first time I did it as well. I'm going to take my dark Granny Apple Green and do the inside of the mug. We can see the inside of this mug. Now you could also, if you wanted to include maybe some cocoa, a cocoa color, I don't know. I think I'm going with the inside of the mug there. And now I'm gonna go back to my dark red. And this was a little confusing to me. We've got a candy cane here, and some of the stripes get off a little bit to me. So I'm gonna do my very best. I've got a red and white stripe there. Okay, now there's a couple of other lines, and I'm just not quite sure how some of these play out. So I'm just gonna color in the line. That gives us our first colored image, and then I'm just gonna continue that. I have 9 others to go, and I'm going to start my color and continue on with that. All right, now I'm going to go back through here, and on these marshmallows I decided to add some of the Wink of Stella, give it a little bit of a shimmery sparkle. I like to have some kind of sparkle on all my cards, and so that gives it just a little bit of a sparkle, if you can see that. We'll let these dry. So now I have all my pieces, and now we just need to assemble them. So let's get to work, and you can watch me do that. I'm just going to put a little tape on the back, take my patterned paper, and then I'm going to take the patterned paper and add it to the 2.5 by 3.5 inch solid colored Granny Apple Green paper, and there's one of my ATCs. I've got 9 more to go. And here is my 10th ATC. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make these, and I hope that my fellow Stamp Club members love these ATCs and can use them on their Christmas cards or gift tags this year. And I hope maybe this inspires you to go make some homemade cards. See you later.